Good communication is something which bridges the gap between the confusion and clarity. Hello everyone, welcome to Shine and Soft Skills with आकांक्षा सिंह। नमस्कार, मेरा नाम आकांक्षा सिंह है और आप लोगों का स्वागत है मेरे चैनल पे शाइन एंड सॉफ्ट स्किल्स में। आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं पहले स्किल्स की, जो कि सॉफ्ट स्किल्स के अंडर आता है, और ये हमने सारा कुछ डिस्कस किया है अपने प्रीवियस वीडियो में। अगर आप लोगों ने नहीं देखा है तो आप लोग प्लीज़ वो वीडियो देखिए, उसके बाद ये वाला वीडियो देखिए, बिकॉज आपको एक क्लैरिटी चाहिए, ना कि कंफ्यूजन इन लाइफ। सो टू स्टार्ट विथ, व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली कम्युनिकेशन इज? Communication, as I said, it is an exchange of ideas, views, expressing your emotions, feelings to the other person is a kind of communication. So why communication is important skill? Communication is an important skill because wherever we are right now, if I talk about our workplace, if I talk about our home space, we need to communicate effectively with the person whom we are dealing with, because you need to be very much clear of your ideas and thoughts you are sharing with the other person, because that understanding is very important between the two or more people. That's why effective communication helps us building a healthy relationship. So if we go into a deeper insight, communication is something which encompasses a range of skills. Okay, when you are a good communicator, that means your half of the journey is done. बोला जाता है ना, बात अच्छे से करें अगर, तो सारे काम आसान हो जाते हैं। एक एग्जाम्पल मैंने अपनी ट्रेनिंग के ड्यूरिंग एक ट्रेनर्स के थ्रू सुना था, दैट देयर वाज अ विलेज एंड वन पर्सन केम टू सेल हनी ओवर देयर एंड हिज प्रॉफिट्स वर नोवेयर, ही वाज नॉट एबल टू सेल इट and he just closed down his business and went away. Then the other person comes up with a business of selling spices, and mostly into the dry chilies he was selling, the red dry chili. But his selling skills were like very good. मीठा बोलता था। आप खराब बोल के कुछ अच्छी चीज़ भी दोगे तो सामने वाला नहीं खरीदेगा, बट वहीं पे आप अच्छे से बोल के कोई ऐसी चीज़ भी आप बेच दो जो उसके लिए हार्मफुल है, वो खरीद लेगा। तो अच्छा बोलना, गुड कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। कम्युनिकेशन is not only helping you in growing in your professional area, but also helping you to develop your personal relationships. So how it is important? Firstly, it helps us to build a healthy relationship. अच्छे से बात करोगे तो सामने वाला भी आपकी सुनेगा। In an office, if the manager is very strict and rude towards their employees, the employees would not put their effort in working for the same manager. So what will happen? The productivity will go down. So good communication helps you in bringing up the productivity, helps you in maintaining a healthy relationship, also helps in problem solving. How problem solving? Problem solving, I'm saying, because when we communicate clearly and listen to the other person actively, we tend to understand and grasp their thoughts, their knowledge, their ideas, and there is no chance of any confusion or differences to be created. That's why it helps us in problem solving. When we talk about communication, it is not just what we are saying. We write, that is also a form of communication. Some people express us through their body language, or you need to feel why that person is sad, because that expression is being highlighted on their face. So that is also a form of communication, non-verbal form. When you're not speaking, you are expressing yourself through your expressions or body language. Writing is a form of communication. So when we talk about the whole communication thing, it means that verbal, non-verbal comes under this. So when we talk about the verbal communication, we need to be clear and concise in whatever we are communicating to the other person. Because when we will not be clear, the other person would not perceive it in a way we want him or her to perceive it or understand it. So you need to be clear and concise, to the point. Whatever you are saying to the other person, be to the point. Don't create any hustle or confusion. Types of communication. First is formal communication. Formal communication is a communication where some agenda is involved. For example, we are in an office and our client is visiting and we need to discuss some proposal with him. So that would be a kind of formal arrangements need to be done, because that is a formal or communication taking place. Then comes the informal communication. Informal communication means something which is not formal and there is no such agenda involved. It can take place anywhere, anytime, with anyone. Then comes the intrapersonal communication. Intrapersonal communication is something which you are communicating with yourself. For example, I am planning to go to a market and I am not able to decide by which means of communication I have to go. I would have to take cab or I should take auto. I'm communicating with myself. So that is intrapersonal communication. Interpersonal communication taking place between two or more people. For example, I'm talking to my mother, I'm talking to my dad. That is a interpersonal communication. Then comes the upward communication. Upward communication is a communication where the people who are at lower hierarchy communicating to the higher hierarchy person. And they are seeking approvals from them. And whereas if we talk about the downward communication, the upper hierarchy person is, or I can say the higher hierarchy person, the managers are ordering their subordinates to work on time. Or our mothers who are at the higher hierarchy are telling us to study on time. So these are some of the kinds or types of communication which we also have to remember while we are communicating to somebody.